Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
In the air, center field. And it will drop. So it'll be a long walk-off RBI single for Bobby Witt Jr. And the Chicago White Sox, who played great defense for 8 innings, fall apart.
Yeah, he did it twice, and it was amazing just to see show off the speed. So it was great to see Freddie do what he does, and everyone else in the lineup doing their part. That's just what makes this team so special.
You got to chip away. I mean, that was a huge spot for Salvi. You know, we didn't have a whole lot going, but then he puts a good at-bat together. He had good at-bats all night.
Norm and I have been together basically on since 1995. Last 2 years at Oral Roberts, 3 years at Tulsa, 3 years at Illinois, the first year here at Kansas, and about the last 11 years up here at KU. We've won an awful lot of games together. We've had some unbelievable memories that are positive. We've had some that aren't so positive, but that's what happens in every family.
Josh is, mostly the individual work. We try to keep out of the team stuff if we're going against a defense, so just taking it slow here.
If Tyreek Hill does want out of Miami, as suggested earlier this season, which he then walked back, he is doing himself no favors. All that he's doing is sending messages to potential suitors that this is how he's going to act at some point in time when he plays for them.
The ideal situation from coaches that I've talked to is one transfer portal and athletic directors. That going back to the college football playoff, the thing that needs to be changed the most and reevaluated right now is the college football calendar and making one 10-day transfer portal window.
Carlisle's going to let him play. Halliburton steps back and hits. Tyrese Halliburton trying to take Cleveland's heart. It is over. The Indiana Pacers in a Game 2 stunner.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Talk of the town. Welcome in, Hump Day version, Wednesday show here on KVGB. Steve Webster with you in the Mayo Money Management Studios this afternoon, joined by our executive producer, Landon Winkler. And it won't be any poor sports stories or anything what happened to us because we've got a full show today. Yes, and I think everybody's going to be here today on the program. I'm going to talk some Panther baseball and softball first. Great Bend Panther softball coach Carrie Minton will be in. She's going to be joined by three Lady Panthers, Alyssa McCulley, Denver Ringo, and Camden Post. Then the baseball Panthers move into the Mayo Money Management Studios. Head coach Randy Beck will be in to talk with us about his team, who's 16-4. He's going to be joined by Carson Humphreys, Owen Kaiser, and Slade Moore, possibly Trent Kern. So that's going to be fun. Then we'll have a regular Wednesday conversation with the voice of the Fort Hays State Tigers, Gerard Walbrock, talking Tiger baseball, whose regular season ended with a thud. They went to Claremore, Oklahoma, and got swept by Rogers State, so that dropped the Tigers to third in the MIAA tournament that starts today. Tigers will play tomorrow. We'll talk to him about that. Also, a heck of an honor for a freshman on that Tiger baseball team. Tony Moore, named to the honorable mention MIAA team in his first season as a Tiger. So Wednesday sports headlines, and let's get started with the sounds of the past 24 hours or so. Ryan Lefevre, the call last night. Goofy ninth inning. As you're going to see, Bobby Witt Jr. hits a deep fly ball to center field. It dropped. It was over the center fielder's head. He kind of went back, it's not going to matter even if he catches it. The Royals going to win. So it turned out to be a walk-off single, and the Royals come from behind to knock off the White Sox 4-3. That was game 2 of a 4-game series at Kauffman Stadium. Okay, here's your ninth inning. Mark Canha coaxing a walk-off Cam Boozer. That led off the ninth. Drew Waters then hit a pop-up, then went off the second baseman's head into right field. So it's still a force play because infield fly rule wasn't on, but Michael Taylor's throw wide at second. Freddie Fermin bunted for a hit to load the bases. Then after Kyle Isbell popped out, Jonathan India drove in the tying run with a fielder's choice. Witt followed with a single to center. Bobby Witt talking about, hey, that's why we play 9 games. That's the reason why you have 27 outs. Royals get a win last night, possibly that you didn't think they were going to get. The Royals started the rally in the 8th. Salvador Perez, a double. That scored Vinny Pasquantino. That pulled the Royals within 1, setting the stage for that busy 9th inning. Matt Quintero talking about that 8th inning when Salvador Perez lined one over the left fielder's head. That started where they were able to get 1 run in the inning. White Sox have now lost 9 straight at Kauffman Stadium, their most ever in Kansas City. So this series continues tonight, weather willing, as Game 3 of the series. We'll have it for you starting at 6 here on KVGB. Tomorrow it will be Game 4, an afternoon contest here, so no sports day tomorrow. Royals and White Sox at 12:30 tomorrow. Then the Royals remain home to continue their 7-game homestand. They'll have a weekend series with the St. Louis Cardinals. You heard Bill Self there. What's he doing in May? Well, he's lost an assistant coach. Norm Roberts, who is, I didn't know this, he is a member of the Assistant Coaches Hall of Fame, announced his retirement Monday following 14 seasons at Kansas, 37 years in the basketball coaching ranks. Bill Self talking about his relationship with Roberts. It goes back a long time. During his time at KU, Jayhawks won 7 Big 12 regular season titles, 3 Big 12 tournament championships. They've advanced to the NCAA tournament, Sweet 16, 5 times, the Elite 8 4 times, captured the 2022 NCAA National Championship title. Bill Self making a media post about that relationship he had with Norm Roberts. So far, mum's the word on Roberts' replacement. Roberts did leave KU for 6 years to become the head coach at St. John's before returning to Kansas after that didn't work out. Andy Reid. Yeah, another guy. He's on in May, but the NFL never goes away, right? Kansas City wrapping up their 3-day rookie minicamp Monday. 80 players taking the field for the first time as professionals. Okay, this is your menu. The camp included all 7 of the Chiefs' draft picks, 16 undrafted free agent signees under contract, 60 rookie tryout players, and 2 veteran tryout players and 2 current players. But everyone wanted to know about how offensive tackle Josh Simmons, their number 1 pick out of Ohio State. He's coming along. He's not participating in everything. But Andy Reid says he's been pretty impressed with what he's been able to do so far. Rookie minicamp, I guess you could call it unique because it's allowed to operate under the Phase 3 rules. Now, you know the Phase 3 rules because obviously you know Phase 1 and Phase 2 rules very well. But anyway, it's all that stuff that covers organized team activities that will begin later this month. So the players, they weren't wearing pads, no live contact. But unlike the rules the veteran players are currently operating under, the rookies permitted to engage in 7-on-7 and 11-on-11 drills over the course of the 3-day camp. So that's the Phase 3 rules that they don't have to follow. Again, OTAs for Kansas City coming up later this month. Okay, some baseball news before we get to the other sounds of, well, let's go ahead and do our other sounds here. Then we'll get to our baseball updates. Jeff Darlington, ESPN NFL reporter. Tyreek Hill wants out of Miami. Darlington says Tyreek Hill, if he hasn't already, why would you want to go out and get just a troublemaker? He's really, really good, but says if Tyreek wants out of Miami, probably just shut up because he's just showing once again what kind of player he's going to be once you sign him to your team. I'll be good for a year, and then other things will happen. He'll end up face down with handcuffs on outside the stadium before a game. Things like this. Heather Dinich, ESPN college football insider, on the Pat McAfee show, talking about that she's hearing from athletic directors, college football coaches, that the college football calendar needs to change, about this portal window and all these things that are associated with professional college sports now. And finally, the play-by-play call, Tyrese Halliburton, the call last night, making a three-pointer, 1.1 seconds remaining. Indiana scored the final 8 points in 48 seconds and beat the shorthanded and top seed Cleveland Cavaliers 120-119 to take a 2-0 lead in their Eastern Conference semifinal series. Halliburton, the former Iowa State Cyclone, getting 11 of 19 points in the final 12 minutes. Donovan Mitchell scored 48 for Cleveland. They were missing 3 key players, including 2 starters, Miles Turner and Aaron Nesmith, Miles Turner and Aaron Nesmith led Indiana with 23 points apiece. It's the first time the Pacers won the first 2 games of the playoff series on the road. You remember this series. That big one in 1994 against Orlando. By the way, St. John's Dean Wade played quite a bit in the game, but scored only 3 points for the Cavs. So there you go, sounds of the past 24 hours or so. Barton baseball scheduled to open play in the best of 3. I call them the Region 6 playoffs, but I guess officially it's called the NJCAA Baseball Plains District Tournament, even though all the teams are in the Jayhawk East or the Jayhawk West. Barton's scheduled to take on Neosho County Game 1 at Lawson Biggs Field today. That was scheduled for 2. They have pushed the start time back to 4 o'clock. So hopefully the Rains stay awake and they can get Game 1 in today. Game 2 would be tomorrow at 2 p.m., and if necessary, Game 3 would be played on Friday at 2 o'clock. Great Bend Panther Baseball will talk with the boys coming up here in just a moment. They had their doubleheader at Garden City postponed yesterday due to rain. That will be made up next week. I think it's the final doubleheader of the regular season. I think they're going to play it on Friday. We'll confirm that coming up in just a moment. So Great Bend now goes to a quad in McPherson. Second time they've gone to a quad in McPherson this year. They will play Friday against Junction City, and then they'll turn around and play the winner of McPherson and Newton. First time Great Bend went to McPherson in April. They won both games, and that included a 15-0 waxing of McPherson in their second game, so they'll do it again on Friday. Lady Panthers will also be in McPherson Friday, trying to solidify their number 2 seed in the West right now, as they will play their first game against Newton on Friday. Then they will take on the winner of McPherson and Junction City. Probably is going to be McPherson. This will be a fun game. McPherson handed the Lady Panthers one of their 4 losses this year back in April. I think the score was 5-1. So if those 2 teams get a play on Friday, that's going to be a pretty good matchup. So there you go. Sounds the past 24 hours. Some baseball headlines. Remember, Barton playing at 4 o'clock today, as that's been pushed back 2 hours. We're going to talk Great Bend Panther softball coming up in just a moment. Our show today brought to you by C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison. Also, the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. And Great Bend Rec Commission, dedicated to improving our community, the lives of its individuals. It's Sports Day here on KVGB.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Ryan, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend. Or check out the website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
This is Hadley.
Hadley, what's going on? I've been trying to call you for the past half hour.
Well, Papa, ever since you started this big sale, the phones have been ringing like crazy.
That's a good thing, Hadley. And didn't I ask you to name the sale?
I did. It's a sale. It's so good you won't believe it.
Oh, Hadley. It is so good you won't believe it.
C&E Doors is offering steel on both sides 9x7 white doors for the same price as vinyl backliner doors. Call today.
Ready for a fresh start this spring? Equity Bank is here to help you bloom into better banking with a $300 bonus. Receive $300 when you open a new Equity Bank checking account and use code FRESH, either in person or online. It's the perfect way to reset your routine and refresh your finances. Visit equitybank.com/fresh for full details and start your season strong. At Equity Bank, they never forget it's your money. Member FDIC.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Here we go. Sports Day continues. Brought to you by Eller Automotive Repair, where they specialize in wheel alignments, oil changes, general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Excuse me. And the American Plains Co-op Bulk Fuel Department. They feature number 2 clear diesel bulk fuel E10 fuel delivery, all your lubricants and fuel supplies. Time to talk Great Bend Lady Panthers softball. Carrie Minton is in with us today. Alyssa McCauley is back. Camden Post is in, and Denver Ringo.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, guys. Great to have you here. Okay. Last time we talked, you were getting ready to go to Garden City, and that was a pleasant beatdown.
It was.
And you want to go out and clinch the league, right? You want to clinch the league title on their field. So 16-4 is a pretty good clinching, wouldn't you say, Coach?
It was. It was a really good day for us down there. We knew going in, a little bit of pressure and what all, we needed to accomplish on the day, and WAC goals, regional goals, and we had an outstanding day.
So when you go out there and you just take control so early, I was impressed the way you came back and still were focused for game 2. You already had it wrapped up.
Yeah.
You want the cherry on top, right? Huh?
Yeah, so we were really excited after game 1. Last year there was some frustration on our end. We knew that it was right there for us to take, and it kind of slipped through our fingers, and so this was kind of a long time coming, we felt like, and so after game 1, we had our moment. We were pretty excited, and then I intentionally then immediately shifted the focus and said, hey, that was awesome, but what would be really awesome for regional seeding purposes is that we come back and we make a point with game 2. So,
and that was big because 5A West has been crowded at the top, and those are 2 big wins right now.
Yeah, it's huge, and there's so much. There's very little wiggle room, like you mentioned. Every game is going to have an impact on standings, and we had an amazing atmosphere, and I think these ladies will attest to it last year when we hosted at home for regionals, and so wanting to get that again, and so that game was huge for us in terms of maintaining where we're at and trying to stay in the top 4.
Carrie, you've said quite a few times what you've seen from this team is growth from last year because, like you talked about, you were in position, some things slipped away from you, and you learned a lot. But you can also learn that, man, this thing can slip away from us if we let it. It can happen again. But you've got to plow through that. This team's obviously done through that and learned from that experience and got stronger. It looks like.
Yeah, and after our game 2 in Garden City, when we clinched that victory. And they'll tell you, one of the things I told them, I said, being honest in our huddle after the games, I said, I really didn't know if we would be able to refocus and come back and get that game 2. I thought we might have a little bit of a letdown just because, we came here, we got 1 game, that's what we really needed. But I said, I think that this team has just matured so much, and in being able to do what they did game 2, I think kind of proved that. So,
Alyssa, okay, you're going out there and you're taking on Garden City, and they've got hopes. They're kind of behind the 8 ball. It's still out there for them. When did you see in their face that they were done?
After that first inning of the first game, it was kind of like we came out very well. Shauna, Kaya. You had we all had doubles.
You was Camden, by the way.
We just hit really well coming out of that first one. After that, I just kind of saw him kind of be we kind of weren't expecting this after that first game.
So talk about what Carrie's talking about, the mindset going into game 2. Tell me about that speech that she gave.
It was a short but sweet speech, but at the end she got us ice cream. But which
As
is
any
what I
good
remember
parent
most.
does after you discipline them, you know.
I actually didn't know that the first game we had won the WAC championship. I don't know why I didn't know that. So the second game I came out and I was like, oh, we have to win this one. I think that kind of kept me focused. I don't know if that happened to anybody else, but yeah, she just kind of said that she didn't expect us to stay focused, and I think that's something that we did really well in that second game.
Camden, so I wouldn't ask you the same thing, but you're going into that game and you probably a little bit nervous, you know, okay, these 2 big games right now. When did you really start feeling good?
I felt good from the start. I've struggled a little bit on my batting this year, not terrible, but.
So you're only hitting 500, is that the deal now, or what?
So, but when I got on base, and we're already moving runners around in the first game, like, we already made the drive there, so we might as well come out hard for the second game.
And it wasn't like the team was, you know, hitting a bloop here, a bloop over there. Those were rockets.
Yeah, we had strong hits, yeah.
Okay, Denver, tell me about the experience, that doubleheader sweep. How much fun was that?
Oh, it was great, you know. I was very energetic from the start. I think the dugout can maybe agree with that. I did get laughed at a lot. But I was just in a really good mood. I had a really good feeling we'd come out, we'd play good. And second game, I was just, in my mind, I was like, we just need to win this. And it's up from there. It's up, I guess.
What's an energetic Denver Ringo?
That depends. Yeah, a bark.
A bark?
Yeah.
Oh, you shouldn't have told me that. Okay. I want to hear for the sports. Give me a Denver Ringo energetic bark. Come on now, you mentioned it. Now okay. And mark that. We've got sound of the past 24 hours for the show tomorrow.
There you go. Never a dull moment.
One more time. Come on, please. Your dad just started tuning in. Okay, 18-4 now on the season.
Yeah.
Denver, I'm going to stay with you. You're on a roll here, okay? So how does the focus shift now as you go, and I'm sure you've got some motivation to go back to McPherson on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would think.
Yeah, I mean...
What do you remember about the first game with Mac?
We made a lot of mistakes and a lot of errors, and I think the loss was more on our behalf than it was on, like, them. Like, they were a really good team and all that. But I think when we go into this game, I think we are a way better team than we were at the beginning of the season. I think we're more confident in ourselves. I think if we lose the errors and we play as a team together, I think we have a really good shot at playing against them. So.
I've got good peripheral vision, and I can see Coach Minton over there saying, no, idiot, they've got to win a game before we play McPherson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, I got you. I was just talking about...
We do. We have one before we can...
Yes, you got to play Newton. Cameron, I know it's ancient history, but you weren't in on the show last week because I wanted to know, tell me about that catch you had at Hayes when you went through the snow fence or the plastic fence, and how do you dodge poles that are sitting in that thing? I'd be scared to death to get near that thing.
Honestly, I wasn't too worried about it. Their fence is pretty floppy, and it didn't hurt at all, so not compared to Pratt when I flopped over the fence and kicked myself in the head. But
yeah. Tell me about that one. Tell me about the Pratt catch then.
well, Pratt didn't quite make the catch, but the Hayes catch was good. I tracked the ball, made it to the fence, and then flopped over the fence, but I don't know, it's nice. Like, I'm smiling after I make the catch, and then everybody's running in to give me fist bumps and high fives and whatever else. And it's just like the feeling like you get an adrenaline rush after you make a big play like that.
Okay, the ball's hit. You go up, okay, that's hit pretty well. I'm going to go back, I'm tracking it. I'm going to look for the fence. Do you look for those posts? I mean, that's concerning to me. Sometimes
I peek back a little bit, but mostly the left field and right field, like they're talking to me, and sometimes I'll put my hand down or just take a quick glance back to see how close I am. But
Alyssa, tell me your mindset heading to MAC on Friday.
Well, kind of like Denver said, that first game we made a lot of errors against McPherson. I think we go back there, play our first game, play our second game, and we just kind of play as a team together and just try and keep those errors to a minimum.
Man, it's got to be hard to sleep now. This is what you wait for. I mean, you got these two of them, then you got a couple games next week against Newton, and it's starting to get closer. There's a lot of different things going on right now, so it's got to be an exciting time to be a Lady Panther, I would think.
Oh, it definitely is. I've been really busy, though, so I've been sleeping like a baby. But
there's a few other things going on at this time of year. This is why we play the game. This is why we coach the game. Because you set up, and especially having a good year like this, Carrie, it's got to be a lot of fun right now.
It is a lot of fun. It's been, like we've talked about, this team has grown so much from the beginning of the year, or even take one step further back and from where we were at last year to where they're at this year. The strides that they've made, it's been a really fun ride. They're locked in and they're focused on, ultimately, where we want to be at the end of the season. And as you mentioned, every game's going to be important, and we have 3 of our last 4 games are going to be against Newton. So that'll be very telling. So we're excited. It's a little bit different. We've played twice a week all year, since the get-go. We've played Tuesday, Thursday, and so it's kind of slowed down a little bit here. We had off all week until Friday, and then next week we don't play until Thursday. So it's giving us a little bit of time to kind of relax, maybe heal up, rest a little bit, and then stay focused and just work on some little things.
The Iuka Hustlers are my fantasy baseball team. If you ever go by Iuka down there, you'll see the stadium on the side and everything. If they would just put up these numbers, 424 batting average, and then you look 560 on base percent. Have you had an inning this year when you didn't get anybody on base?
We've had a few, and I know that just because it seems out of character for us when we get into an inning and we go down 1, 2, 3. I mean, it doesn't happen a lot. As we've talked about all year, our bats have been phenomenal, and that's what we're going to look to carry us through the end of the season, along with some great defense and some great pitching. Chayla has carried a big load here as of lately, and Alyssa has stepped in and helped out when needed, and all of that, every single piece of that puzzle has been extremely important, and it's fun seeing it all come together now at the end.
Other than being a year older and a year more experienced, what have you seen where Chayla has improved as a pitcher this year?
I think her confidence level, I think she, last year she knew she could do it, but I think there were some situations that maybe were a little intimidating. Maybe she let nerves get to her a little bit more. This year she has been much more confident in what she's throwing and when she's throwing it, and having seen a lot of these batters, whether it was last year through the summer, she knows several of them. So I just think that there's a different level of confidence in what she's doing this year.
It's going to be fun to see what you can do at McPherson. This is a fun group, goofy group.
They're so serious.
Okay, well, I know, but
Denver
Denver may be up there because she's already given us I won't ask you to do the growl again or the bark, but who keeps a team the loosest? I mean, there's a lot of candidates here.
Oh, I don't even know where to begin. Well, we can start with this one right here to my left.
Alyssa, she always looks so
we can put Alyssa towards the top of the list.
She may look serious. Let me catch.
But I feel like there's, Alyssa, of any practice, we're asking to catch. Can I throw? Can I? Hey, I'll go do that. Yes. Oh yeah, the other day she was wanting to hit from the left side.
Could have done it.
Why not?
So why not? Just do it all.
How's your shoulder? Do you alternate? I'm waving runners home. I mean, you go with the left arm a little bit because you get a little bit older. I'm on my second rotator cuff, so.
Yeah, no, I don't alternate too much. We've had to come up with some very clear-cut signs on whether or not I'm bringing somebody from second to third or I'm sending somebody from third home, which is a nice problem to have. So
okay, well,
we've had to work on it.
Take care of that wave shoulder, okay?
All right, I will.
Guys, thanks for coming in. Good luck at McPherson on Friday, okay?
Thank you.
Great Bend Lady Panthers softball with us. Okay, open the door. Let the boys in, I guess. We're going to talk Panther baseball next on Sports Day.
From the Mail Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
When you run a fleet business, delay is a dirty word. What fuels me to stay on schedule? My clients, their clients, and everyone's bottom line. What fuels my fleet? Cenex Roadmaster XL, a premium diesel fuel formulated with its best additive package yet to clean the entire fuel system for more power, less maintenance, and better fuel economy. Cenex Roadmaster XL, fueled by innovation, powered to perform.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
Introducing Ag Mechanics at Barton Community College in partnership with Case New Holland Top Tech. Hands-on training in areas like electrical, hydraulics, and diesel engines, with technicians gaining the knowledge and skills needed to start a career with CNH Level 1 training. Join this high-demand field at a CNH dealership in only 9 months. Learn more at toptech.bartonccc.edu.
Now, in its second decade, it's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back, Sports Day here on KVGB. And our show brought to you by Great Bend Rec Commission, dedicated to improving our community and the lives of its individuals. I know about that director they've got down there, but I guess Great Bend Rec's pretty good. Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. That was just for you. You know that. Okay, welcome in studio. There's a powwow going on in the hallway right now. Head coach Randy Beck and Kerry Minton coordinating because they're both going to be in McPherson on Friday. I'm assuming that's what it's all about. So we're going to talk to the guys today, including Carson Humphreys is in, Owen Kaiser, Trent Kern, and welcome to the studio, Slade Moore. Pull up there to that microphone just a little bit. So we're going to start with you since you're the newbie here today. Wow, 16-4. It's been a pretty fun ride so far. What's been the key with this Panther baseball team?
Yeah, absolutely. Just playing together as a team since the start, and like even the games that we don't get a lot of hits, we find ways to win. And I think that just comes back to like the whole team giving effort and really making sure we win the game by that 7th inning.
Well, you didn't have any problem with that. Going back on Friday, that had to feel pretty good going in. Tell me about that doubleheader sweep of Dodge City, 10-0, 12-0, just taking care of business in that game. What went well for the team?
Yeah, we finally started hitting again after a couple bad games. I wouldn't say bad games, but a couple games that we didn't hit very well. And so really brought the confidence back up in the team and started hitting the ball again.
Okay, going into your final season, what were some of your goals personally you want to do? Obviously, the team, you want to get to state again and go even deeper this time. Personal goals for Slade Moore this year going into the season?
Oh, yeah, I just want to finish the season hitting above like 300 and making sure every at-bat that I take is a quality at-bat and getting on as much as I can and making no errors in the field because that really helps. Errors kills teams.
Is that one of the things you take pride in, is your defense?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you get good at defense?
A lot of practice, okay. A lot of ground balls.
Trent Kern, welcome back to the studios here today. Nice to see you. Nice season so far. You feeling? I know the team's going well. Personally, how things gone for Trent Kern?
It's been all right. Pretty defensively, I've been solid. I've been hitting the ball pretty well. Just sucks when you hit it right at him every time.
That was my problem all the time. She's only hit 218. That's a lot of bad luck.
I know.
But tell me about, because someone texted me today. They found out Slade Moore's going to be on. Okay, and they said, that's good. He's going to be on the show today because he's the unsung hero. Do you see that as for this young man sitting to your right?
I do.
What makes him the unsung hero of the Panther base? I mean, there's a lot of them.
I mean, you never see a bad attitude out of Slade Moore. Like, it's always go.
Try to get him into having a bad attitude?
No,
not you. There's a lot of guys like that on this team, isn't there? Talk about the makeup. I mean, gosh, you guys play so many different sports together, and it's the same with this team. The chemistry on this team. How would you describe that?
I say it's the best we've seen in a while. Like, just like football, we all know exactly what to do whenever someone else is there. Like, if Slade's playing third and I'm somewhere else, like, I know exactly what to do, or he knows exactly what to do. Everybody plays every position. It's just the best chemistry we've had in a while.
Carson Umphris. Okay, welcome back to the studio here today. I'm looking at some of these numbers here today. Let's see, ERA of 0.91. That's not too bad. Let's see, as far as strikeouts go, where's my sheet at here? I had that all in front. Okay. Let's see, 47 strikeouts and 7 walks in 38.2 innings. What went wrong with those 7 walks?
Oh, yeah, just, just got wild sometimes. It happens.
How's the arm feel at this time of year?
My arm is feeling amazing. I was telling Coach the other day, after the Gardner-Edgerton game, I think I threw like 80 pitches. And then, like, literally the next day, I felt like I could go out and throw another 80. Like, my arm has just been holding up amazing. I'm really impressed with myself, honestly.
Yeah, well, so do you have to try to throw harder to throw harder? I know it's kind of a dumb.
Well, no, I get what you mean. No, really, it is just low effort and trying to not do too much. The less you do, the better you are usually, because the harder you try, the tenser you get. It's all about staying loose and then less strain on your body, and it just happens to work out better most of the time.
Oh, and you put up some pretty good numbers, too. Tell me about your pitching season. How's the arm right now? The coach is back in here, so if it's feeling a bit bad, you can just...
So the season was a little rough. Just battling back through a little strain in my shoulder. But the last few outings that I've had have been... My arm's feeling a lot better. That's about it, really. It's getting back to the same.
Yeah, so, the league race probably over with right now, even though I thought for a while the other day that Liberal was going to get, they had that big lead. They got off to a good lead on Hayes. I said, come on, boys, come on. So talk about shifting now, because you had those 2 games, and they'll be played next week, so it's going to be very busy. You got Friday right now. Does it kind of turn the page and get on to getting that high seed, for the 5A, for the regional, so you can play it here at home and improve your seed?
Yeah, these next few games are going to be really important for us. We really want to host, and I feel like that really help us in the long run to get into state and running through state.
What do you think about going back to McPherson again? Last time you kind of knocked Mac around a little bit. They're probably going to be looking for you because you got a game before that. Take on Junction City. I think he's got a pretty decent team. Thoughts on Friday getting to play a couple games over there?
It's going to be a really good, another really good test for us. We're going to see good teams, good arms. We're really going to, I'm drawing a blank real now. It's going to show who we are again, really.
Slade, what are you thinking about? What do you remember last trip to McPherson? You had a pretty good day over there?
Oh, yeah, I did. As a team, collectively, we had a lot of great ABs. Like, we took a lot of walks, and that just shows our plate discipline, I think. And that just we can really, put it to teams like that. And I think we go back there and do that again, we'll be really solid.
Talk about the lineup, Carson, that if you're going to throw this Friday, I'm not for sure if you are, but if it is against McPherson, what do you remember about that lineup?
Well, not gonna lie to you, I didn't get to face those guys that much. We run ruled them, and I only got to face each guy like one time. So I don't know much, but just throwing my changeup to lefties and then slider to righties, and just blowing the fastball by who I can blow by, and like that is a great team, good team. But I mean, if you make your pitches, you can beat anybody.
Again, known as a pitcher, man. Talk about, man. You've been raking this year. What's working?
Well, so I am going to college to hit. That is my thing. But I mean, just countless hours, countless swings in the off season. Like I bet you I put together like 10,000 swings this off season. I really am. I just try and break apart my swing, see what's wrong, and then just improve on that. And it really has been working. I mean, I've been getting unlucky with some of these windy days, but like I had some pretty good days out there the start of the season. I think it was like 4 home runs in 8 games, and like hopefully I can get some more by the end of the season. But it's really just trusting the work that I've put in this off season to just let instincts take over.
Trent, feel good where you're at right now. This big stretch for your team coming up right now here in the next 7, 8, 9 days.
I'm loving it. The more under pressure we are, I think the better we play. Like the better teams we play better. Like when we play a not so good team, we play down to their level. If we play a good team, I think we have a very good chance of going far.
All right, Slade, you get the last thought. Anything you want to talk about today? You can dog on anybody that you want. You can praise anybody that you want, or talk about anything else outside of baseball.
Oh, yeah, I just got to say one thing. We played a little fun game yesterday when we got postponed, and us seniors, it was seniors versus juniors, and we took it to them. We beat them. They won by 1 run. Kind of just shows how much better we are than them,
Wow.
I think our pitcher was the deciding factor in that one.
Yep, Coach Beck throwing some good curveballs in there.
So he still got it?
Oh, he still got it.
Yeah. How about that? Coach Beck, come over here just real quick. Come on, you can't organize all the time out there in the hall. I thought you were in trouble when Kerry came back in here, so I didn't know. Okay, so you got rained out yesterday. Is that going to be next Friday? Is that when it got rescheduled to?
Yep, next Friday.
So, man, it sets up a big 6 games here at the end of the day.
Yeah, it does. Some really good competition. Obviously, we all know McPherson's good. Junction is pretty good, too, this year. And then Manhattan is, last I saw, they were at least in the top 10 in 6A as far as the ranking go. And I think maybe they had 4 losses at last time I looked, which was a couple days ago. So it'll be good. We'll see some good pitching. And, even though we had to move the Garden game to next week, I think that's not a bad thing because we continue to play and we don't have a big break, So we're going, Friday, Wednesday, Friday, boom, we're right into regionals, So to keep that momentum going, keep our practices going, so I just think that it's a good thing that we ended up doing that.
Okay, so break down this game yesterday. It was just, now Trent said it was 1 run.
Yeah.
The way Slade described it was like an 8-run victory. So
about 10.
Yeah. So he just come up and said, hey, let's play a little game here.
Well, it's always hard to practice on a day where you're supposed to play a game because you're mentally prepared the night before and show, up the next day you have to be ready, mentally prepared, even though, it's raining out, just in case it still happens. And when it doesn't happen, then it's a letdown. It's hard to practice. So we decided to do a little Indian ball, which is good. It does a lot of good things for us. You got to be able to hit to opposite field. You got to be able to pull. You got to hustle in and out. You got to hit my splitty and my curveball. And
he never told us he was going to throw off speed before the game.
Sounds like they don't tell you in the game either.
Yeah, but you can pick it up.
So
I was about 26 feet away from him.
So what are the rules of Indian ball?
3 outs. we start out and you have to hit from second base over. So if you're a righty, we call it oppo, so you got to hit to the opposite side, so you'd have to hit to right field to the right of second base. And then you're just running the bases. And then the other team is spread out however they want to do it defensively. Usually first baseman, second baseman, 3 outfielders. Depends on if there's somebody on first or second, whether they want to sprint somebody over to third to try to keep them honest from going too many bases. If you swing and whiff, you're out. If you hit a foul ball, I'll give you one more.
Okay, so does a coach get to call his own balls and strikes, or is it just you get one?
No, I
was just wondering how many guys you rung up, on call.
I didn't call any. I let them pick their own pitch. So,
okay,
but I was right on yesterday. I was spot on.
And your arm still feels good, huh?
Yeah.
You don't hear any popping or anything like that?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
He's ready to suit up.
He could. Yeah. Guys, thanks for coming in. Always fun. Slade comeback, okay? This has been good. You're a fine ambassador for the program and the senior class, which drilled the juniors yesterday by 13 runs.
Yeah, 13,
man. It was.
I will say, none of them will be in the A gap, though. I blocked him once in 8th grade, and he didn't hit our quarterback, so I wasn't allowed to touch the quarterback.
He must have tripped over you.
Yeah.
We'll get to that on another episode of Sports Day here on KVGB. Thanks, guys.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, and for our leadership moment, we want to talk about your people in your operation. And if your people don't want to be there, they won't want to lead there. So do your people want to be there? Do you lead to help people want to be there? Because if your people don't want to be there, they won't want to lead there. Dr. Nels, Animal Medical Center, Watersmall, we take care of them all.
Ready for a fresh start? This spring, Equity Bank is here to help you bloom into better banking with a $300 bonus. Receive $300 when you open a new Equity Bank checking account and use code FRESH, either in person or online. It's the perfect way to reset your routine and refresh your finances. Visit equitybank.com/fresh for full details and start your season strong. At Equity Bank, they never forget it's your money. Member FDIC.
High school seniors, get ready for what's next. Barton Community College enrollment days are back, and you can get everything set for this fall in just one day. Meet with advisors, pick your classes, tour campus, and more. No stress and no hassle, just your future ready to roll. Don't miss out, spots fill up fast. Register now through July 22nd. Visit enroll.bartonccc.edu today, where your future starts now.
Some people call him Gerard. Most people just call him Grr. It's time for Tiger Talk on Sports Day with the voice of the Fort Hays State Tigers. Here's Gerard Welbrock.
All right, Gerard Welbrock with us here on the show. I ruined it for Gerard because conference baseball tournament, I'd leave 3 days early, but now he's having to wait around a little bit because the company looked at that and said that's unacceptable. So, Gerard Welbrock with us here. We had baseball and softball in here for the Great Bend Panthers, so we'll move quickly here, but, man, not the way you want to go into an MIAA tournament. Tigers get swept at Rogers State, and losers of 4 of 5. They go into the tournament tomorrow, and, well, here we go. So tell me about the Tigers' path to an MIAA championship right now.
Well, yeah, I guess it's kind of funny. It was a tough weekend. They get swept at Rogers, who was good. I mean, they got a good team and played well. And Tigers lose a couple of tough one-run games. They let it get away in the opener, then they rallied a tide in the ninth in the second game, only to give up a run at the bottom. And then it was a 1-1 game going with the sixth inning, and then it just got blown open next to the seventh inning, and then Rogers blew it open. So, three pretty tough, highly contested games, and to go 0-3, which, for them now, the regional's out unless you win the tournament. You had a chance. You were sharing the MIAA lead, and you finish in third. So, to me, it's disappointing, and then you think about it for a while. You kind of have to, look at it from 30,000 feet. Best season in the MIAA, more conference wins than ever before. They finished third, highest finish ever, highest seed. So it's been a successful season, but it's always, what do you remember last? And hopefully the team has a short memory. They're certainly capable. They've proven that all year of winning it. Yeah. And they could lose their first game. So they're going to have to play well. They have Ty Riley going, which you like your chances. He was co-pitcher of the year. And what I like is, if they can get by Northwest, which will not be easy, they're good. You know how all that goes. But if you win, you probably play Pitt. Well, they're going to have to probably burn their number one. So you're fortunate in that regard. I think that is significant. So I think they got the pitching to make a run. Just have to play well. And for me, timely hitting. You look at that Rogers series. First two games, they had a lot of opportunities early on to grab a 2-3, maybe 4-run lead and didn't get the big hit. You get the postseason, you've seen it, you have to get the timely hitting. It's more important than a lot of hits. It's when you get the hit. And if they can do that, and they've proven to be clutch all year, I think the pitching, if the pitching throws to their capability, will give them an opportunity. So it'll be fun. I mean, they got as good a chance as anybody to win the whole thing. Just have to play well.
Okay, Northwest. So now tell me about the way they've done this, because they're going to two different locations now.
Yeah, because of the weather, it was supposed to all be in Joplin, but they're worried about the forecast. So basically, they're going to play. There's two first-round games today. The 7 through 10 seeds play. One's going to play in Joplin. In fact, I think they're just getting underway. And the second game, or the other game, is in Pittsburgh. And then tomorrow they're going to split. Half the bracket is in Joplin. The other half is in Pittsburgh. And Fort Hays State will be in Pittsburgh. So they'll have the second game, and they're going to play at 3 o'clock in the afternoon now. After the Pittsburgh State game. So they'll have the second game, and then the winners onto the semis, and that'll all go back to Joplin for the rest of the tournament. It just gives them, I think the conference felt a better window to get the games in and not have to use a rain day and play on Sunday and all of those things. So I'm fine with it, because now I get a press box. We're going to be outside in Joplin, so you know how that is.
Absolutely. That's the only...
if there's rain in the fourth.
Oh, jeez. Welcome to our world, buddy.
Well, we had 4 days softball in Topeka a few years ago, and I thought I ruined the gear, but it stayed dry somehow in a monsoon, so we're outside. But yeah, so that'll be good. That's a great facility there. So that's how they flipped it up. They feel they've got a better window to get all the games in, especially tomorrow with the stormy forecast.
Okay, so, that losing 4 or 5, you dropped those 3 games down in Claremore. Of course, that sucked for the league, but what did that do? Because, you're playing for more than that, you're playing for NCAA tournament opportunities, things like that. How damaging was that?
Pretty damaging. The region ranking comes out today. I haven't seen it yet, but they were 9th going in. And, I mean, you're not going to jump up losing 3. And what hurts, too, is you get an automatic hit for winning it in the GAC, which they do their format differently. They play they do their 2-14 double elimination, then they take the 2 winners and have a best-of-3 championship. Well, that's going to go on this weekend, and the 2 teams that are playing were not regionally ranked last week. So they're going to take somebody's spot. So to me, they've got to win the tournament. That's their only way to make a regional. They were in a good spot 2 weeks ago, and unfortunately for them, they've got some really bad losses, and their non-conference schedule was bad. I mean, look at the teams that they played and lost to, a lot of 10, 12, 13-win teams. So, unfortunately, they did not have a good enough non-conference schedule early, and despite all the great wins, and then you get swept at the end, they're going to have to win the conference tournament. But again, they're certainly capable, and I would hope they could find a way to do that, because this team's battled and overcome so much. And And I think it's a surprise of everybody in the MIAA. It'd be really cool to get to an NCAA because it's been since 2006 since that has happened, so it's been a while.
Yeah, Justin Wickert, Coach of the Year. That's pretty good. And then you told me back, I think it was early September. You said, "Man, keep an eye on this Tony Moore kid from Houston. He's gonna be the spark plug. He's gonna be honorable mention all MIAA as a freshman." Nice call, Gerard.
Yeah, I think we all saw that coming, didn't we? I mean, what a great story. I thought I'm curious what the voting for freshman of the year was. I certainly think he had to be in the mix and one of the two or three considered. He kind of, I'm not going to say struggled, but he wasn't hitting as well down the stretch. And as you know, for those things, you play a series and maybe you don't have as good a series, but when that coach votes, I mean, that's what he can base it on. So that probably hurt him a little bit. He had a few series where he wasn't hitting well, but he's been such a huge part, one defensively. And to me, that's one of the areas why Fort Hays State is better. They're so much better defensively than they've been. I mean, Trey DeGarmo didn't get the Gold Glove, and I'm not saying he should have. I don't think he was wrong. I mean, there's some good third basemen, but he's still as good as he's ever been, and that's your third baseman. And we had Tony was, Cooper Howlett, shortstop, a new guy they brought in. They solidified the defense a lot better, and that's made a big difference, and obviously just another year of growth for everybody. But to have a true freshman step in and do what he has done, and I know Coach Wickert has said it a lot when he's asked about Tony Moore, just go back and watch his high school football film. That's all you need to know, and that's exactly how he plays baseball. That's been a huge, huge addition to this team.
George, drive safely. May you do every game in a press box, and we will talk to you next week.
I appreciate it, Steve.
Okay. George Walbrock, voice of Fort Hays State Tigers.
This is Hadley.
Hadley, what's going on? I've been trying to call you for the past half hour.
Well, Papa, ever since you started this big sale, the phones have been ringing like crazy.
That's a good thing, Hadley. And didn't I ask you to name the sale?
I did. It's a sale. It's so good you won't believe it.
Oh, Hadley. It is so good you won't believe it.
C&E Doors is offering steel on both sides 9x7 white doors for the same price as vinyl backliner doors. Call today.
If you're needing a healthcare plan for your business, let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's need. Regardless if you're a large corporation or a small business on Main Street, Freedom Claims Management Incorporated can help you provide your employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. Visit freedomclaimsinc.com where you can schedule a free, no obligation health assessment today. Freedom Claims Management Incorporated in Great Bend.
Good show today. Thanks to Carrie Midden, Randy Beck for rounding up some kids to come in. It's always fun to talk to the young people in our area, student athletes for sure. Okay, Barton baseball today. They, at least right now, are still playing, but they pushed the start time back with Neosho to 4 o'clock. Game 1 of that best-of-3 series. Tomorrow's game would be at 2. Friday's game, if necessary, also scheduled at 2. But, man, with all the rain in the area, just keep track. Follow BartonSports.com, and Todd Moore and Brandon Smith will keep you updated right there. We'll be back here Friday for the show. Royals tomorrow, 12:30.